Hi everybody, good afternoon. How are ya? Okay, we need to do that again. Hi everybody, how are ya? There you go, some energy in the place, that's what I like. Well, first of all, how cool was that conversation and that chat with Steve Wozniak? It was awesome, right? Some of you, unfortunately, the place was full, so not everybody got the opportunity to get in, but it was amazing. We continue our fantastic program here at the ecosystem stage. Now we're going to follow up with a very interesting panel, a panel that I think is going to be extremely relevant for all of you. And the host of the panel on support institutions in Lebanon is going to be my good friend coming all the way from Bulgaria, Mr. Stefan Ganchev. Please put your hands together for Stefan.
Good stuff. Hi everyone. Please, my panelists, please welcome on stage. So, hi. Bonjour. Bonjour. Okay. All right. So we're gonna talk about ecosystems, and I don't know why the panel is called supporting institutions. I mean, after all, it's more about how do you build and how do you grow an ecosystem. So my name is Stefan Ganchev. I'm from Bulgaria. I'm myself actually an ecosystem builder. I created the biggest conference in Bulgaria and in the region called Digitalk, and I'm also an investor in Bulgaria. So when you're an investor in an early stage ecosystem, you're kind of actually also an ecosystem person. So I think that's the reason Samar invited me to host this panel. So on my panel I have, I apologize if I don't pronounce perfectly the names, Nicolas Senaoui, Fadi Joseph, Guina Jaloui, and Stéphane Attali. This is easy, it's French. Okay. So hi to you all. Thanks for joining us. And my first question to you all will be actually, how do you feel about the ecosystem today compared to a few years ago? And what's the potential? How do you see the Beirut startup ecosystem in a few years? Yeah, of course.
Hello everybody, I'm pleased to be here amongst you. Actually, it's growing at an exponential rate, meaning very quickly, and awareness is being created. I still remember the BDL Accelerate 2 or 3 years ago. There were only few startups and it was kind of a shy conference. Now we see the audience, there is awareness of what's going on in Lebanon, so the growth is great. And I see it's continuing because it has all the necessary elements to grow. The interest of the people and the youth, the financial support of the institutions, the training and the support of the IT ecosystem is here. So I'll stop now, otherwise I will end up talking all the time.
Sure. Thanks to invite us. We are proud to see this buzzword is working properly in Lebanon, and we are seeing potential there. But in reality, we measure this in the Canadian way, is by seeing some exit. And until now, we didn't have any measurement. So I will say we are on a good track, but we want to see more results. So
Okay.
we'll try to help to have more startup, because the question of the startup and the innovation is based on a statistic, and we're still at the beginning of the road. So this is what I was.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for welcoming us. I'm very glad to be here. Very glad to see some all these participants and alumni of ESA Business School and friends. So thank you very much
All right,
for
all
being
right.
there. And this is a very good sign of this ecosystem, which is really being built over the years. It didn't start yesterday,
Okay.
which is a very good thing. It really started some years ago, and we can see that institutions are coming and building and bridging the gaps. there is a real dynamism in Lebanon, and I think it's really due to the DNA of Lebanese and Lebanon. It has all what it takes. It has great institutions like BDL, which supports this system. Then we can see that we still need to fill the pipeline of startups, and there are still many challenges to be addressed to really build this ecosystem, and this is what we will be trying to do.
Okay.
Well, hello everyone. I think we're doing fine. We're a very young ecosystem, very young, I mean 3-4 years maximum. And the success of BDL Accelerate this year is fantastic. I mean, of course, you all feel the vibes. Last year it was good, but this year it's 25,000 people who registered, 4,000 coming from abroad. Steve Wozniak, Tony Fadel, it's impressive. You feel you are at the center of the world. It's like we are in Silicon Valley right now. Plus all the successes, the startups that have fantastic ideas, global ideas, disruptive ideas that we know about, that will be announcing their valuations soon, and the partnership they are building. The second thing I want to say is in the ecosystem, in this nascent ecosystem, we have the chance, and it was not easy to have it done this way, of keeping politics away. I mean, and the fact that BDL is fathering this baby helps a lot, because BDL is also making a lot of effort for politics to stay away. And you have people from various political background working together, like me and Renoir now, and people who doesn't deal in politics. But this is the way it should be. I mean, ecosystem, infrastructure, the future of Lebanon should be the further away from political bickering as possible, because if we improve the global infrastructure, if we make successful startups, if we create jobs, it will impact everyone. I mean, from all communities, from all regions, from all political parties. So this is great. I think we pioneered it, and hopefully the new government that is going to be formed will have the same approach of let's work and keep politics isolated.
Actually, I totally agree. I will make a parallel with the Bulgarian startup ecosystem, where actually we were also able to build something despite the politics, because after all, even if some governments or some people from the the official institutions have some ideas about the ecosystem, it's kind of not natural to artificially grow it. So an ecosystem has his own elements and be to grow itself rather than be like directed from above. So I totally agree with this. Nicola, I have one question for you. I'll go with each one of you to tell us a bit more about the project that you're in charge. So you're working with the UKTI, I guess.
UK Lebanon Tech Hub.
Yeah. So the UK Lebanon Tech Hub. Can you tell us a bit more about it? Like, how did it started? Is it like a classical accelerator, or is it something a bit different?
So it's this and more. First, it started as an initiative by the BDL, the central bank, together with the UK embassy. And the main idea, if I want to sum it up, is to benefit from the expertise of the English of the UK, and build a bridge between Lebanon and London to help the startups go international, go global, branch with the world supply chain. So our startups are incubated or accelerated in Lebanon, and then they move to London for a few months, and then they are accelerated there also. And we're closing the second batch and moving to the third batch, and we have fantastic companies. One of our companies is currently in London being accelerated, and it's number 2 on the English App Store in terms of downloads.
That's fantastic.
It's called Play My Way. So that's just to mention it. Results are very good. But the ambition is more than just accelerating companies. We have capacity building at our offices in the BDD, in Beirut Digital District. So a lot of companies that are not accelerated, a lot of people that are not part of the acceleration program go through workshops, attend tech talks, and get a lot of the value. So the idea is, and I have a few figures that Nadim prepared for us, where the companies we have accelerated have created already 240 jobs. The valuations our company have are above 150 million from the funds that invested in them. And we aim to grow the ICT sector from $450 million currently to 1.2 billion in 2025, and to create 25,000 jobs. We will be announcing new projects spanning from the UK Lebanon Tech Hub, which is an R&D center, an academy, and an NRC, National Resource Center, that will be playing a bigger role for the whole digital economy and the ecosystem.
Okay, tell us just a bit more about this acceleration program. So do you invest? Do you give money? Do you take equity in the companies? How do they get in? What's the selection process?
No, at the moment we don't take equity. It's
Okay.
possible down the line that we would. So it's free. The company, our selected companies, don't pay anything, and their costs are covered in Lebanon and in London.
That's nice.
Yes. So that's the main formula for the moment, because it's backed by the BDL.
Right.
But further down the line, we will go through feasibility to cover our own costs when we announce the new projects.
All right. So, tell me, is it easy to find when you start an acceleration project in a emerging ecosystem? Is it so easy to find good mentors, good advisors for the companies? How do you get them? Is it people from the local ecosystem here, or do you fly in people from abroad?
We have exceptional people in Lebanon. The country doesn't help a lot because we've been through all these crises and economic crises, but we have exceptional people in Lebanon, and to be successful in Lebanon, it means you are much more resilient than the guy who's successful in the States, because you've been through much more hurdles, much more problems,
That's true,
minefield.
yeah.
You're a survivor. And I always say the guy who survives in Lebanon can survive anywhere in the world, and it's been proven by the success of our expat community.
Yeah.
So we have good mentors in Lebanon, but we also tap into the diaspora, the expat community, and we have also in the ICT sector, we have exceptional people. I mean, Tony Fadel is one of them, but we have people in Nokia and in the biggest company, in Cisco, in the biggest company of the world. Some of the 10 highest ranking executives are Lebanese. So there's no problem in finding mentors.
Okay. I'll switch to Fadi. He's next on my list. I'm following the list on the website. So, Fadi, you're president of the Lebanese Canadian Tech Hub. Tell us a bit more about this thing.
We have a nice story to tell. We start in 2006, and then we incorporate in 2009 as something called the Association TE Lebanon-Canadian. So what we do, we start helping all the immigrants that coming from Lebanon to Canada to be integrated within the IT community in Canada.
All right.
So we end up having like 350 C-executive people from the Canadian market which have Lebanese descent, as Mr. Sahnawi said. So we gather them and helping them by coaching, mentoring on what we call a human-to-human or edge-to-edge. So we help people to communicate between them, and we will be able to reduce the cycle of integration. Usually the cycle of integration in Canada, it takes between 12 to 18 months. So we reduce that up to 3 months. And we have a real success story. We have people that is on the top of Bell Canada, Rogers, TELUS, Allstream, and Cisco, HP, Salesforce, Hood. So we leveraged that until 2011, and by 2011, 2012, we didn't have the needs of the employment. So in Canada, we didn't have people that are benching as sitting on the bench looking for a job. So we shift that momentum, and we call it the Lebanese Canadian Tech Hub. Instead of doing what we call human to human, we do government to government. And we are we call it in the Canadian way OSBL, or a ONG, non-profit organization. So we are doing now leveraging the bridge between Canada and Lebanon. We don't want people to migrate, but we want the brain. So we bring people from Canada to Lebanon, and we take those startup Canadian to go to Lebanon and find the potential of market. So we do everything related to commercialization, go to market, understanding the challenge. And this is what we do for the moment.
So, just to understand a bit more, if I'm a founder of a Lebanese startup and I want to do something in Canada, like what's the help that you're providing? Like opening doors to Canadian corporations, finding like potential customers or potential local employees, like a salesperson in Canada, or?
We do everything that you said. We help by opening door. We help by closing deals. For example, during this year, we had two delegations, one from Berytech and the second one from MVP. And one of them has been able to close a deal for $2 million with a customer. So what we do is we open doors. We let them understand the challenge of the North American. We let them know what is the competition there, what is the needs of the market, and we give them, even this year we are announcing that we will give them space and program for 6 months for free for any startup that is in Lebanon and is interesting to be in Canada to targeting the North American market.
Okay, cool. All right, like moving to the next one. I'm really sorry. How should I pronounce exactly your name? Ginwa. So Ginwa, actually, I was very happy to understand a bit more about your project, because actually when I was discovering all the speakers' profiles for this panel, I was always looking for some parallels between the Sofia, Bulgaria ecosystem and the one here in Lebanon. And in Bulgaria, it turned out that the local universities, of course, they're producing talent, but also a lot of the local startup companies, they were born from the big IT organizations, and those IT organizations, big IT companies, they had their own software schools. And if I understand well, that's actually what you're providing here to the ecosystem. It's a kind of a software school, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. Well, Nicolas suggesting that before I speak, if you would like to come up, there are places for
guys,
you
there's
instead
like
of
plenty of
standing
space.
up.
We can do a
Lots of
30 seconds
spaces.
commercial break or something if you need.
We can start actually. You see, one important thing for this ecosystem really to grow and grow fast is that our graduates of computer science, CCE, or any IT-related discipline be able to code, to program these apps and websites and web portals. Our universities are talented in the academic training. We have excellent universities and we have excellent graduates. The problem is that there is a gap between what they learn at the university and what they need in order to enter this ecosystem and code either their ideas or the ideas of others into products that then can become a startup. So this is where Torch comes into the picture. The project, and it's an organization that I'm chairing now, is called Torch. And what do you know? What do you think when we say Torch? Torch, Torch, Statue of Liberty, or Torch. There are those people. You know the Olympics. When you started, you first light the torch. So we say we're carrying the torch of information technology. So what we do is we communicate with universities, we attract graduates of computer science, CCE, any IT-related discipline, and we give them training for 14 weeks. The training is designed so that in 14 weeks they capture the expertise of 2 years of coding and information technology as well. It's a training boot camp. They come, they get into one of 3 tracks, either iOS development or Android or web. These are the general tracks that everybody would need if they want to go and code in the IT sector or build their own apps. So currently we are 1 year old, Torch is 1 year old. Operationally we are like 9 months, but during those 9 months we have been able to train 90 graduates. We give it on scholarship basis because we are also supported by BDL. And the total of scholarships we have is 240. But these 90 were selected out of 800 applicants. So there is a real need for the training that we are giving, and we intend to continue, and we hope that at some point in time we'll be able to expand the number of scholarships to support all these applicants that we're having right now. The interesting part is that we don't train them in isolation. We work on their mindset so that they start thinking entrepreneurial. So we direct them to what's happening in this ecosystem. Currently we have 50 ideas that have been pitched by our students. We supported 9 by teaming them up, so support teamwork and team spirit. And we have 6 finished MVPs, which are minimum viable products that are mobile apps and with web platform. Other 3 in the pipeline, and there are others that have finished. So already Torch is really adding value to the economy in terms of these pre-startups. They are not yet startups, not new companies, but they are potentially ready to be for angel investing to move forward. The interesting part as well is that Torch students are getting into competition. They, in the startup Spring Beirut startup competition, they won first prize. In 54 hours, they were able to develop the idea, to pitch it, to do the app, and the social media platform, and they contributed to the second prize. Another competition by the UN Hackathon, OCHA took 2 of our graduates to build UN apps for them, for helping refugees and other aspects. Our graduates don't suffer of lack of jobs in Lebanon. This growing IT ecosystem is absorbing them. They directly find jobs. Their beginning salary is double. The average of any salary of these is double the salary of any other fresh graduate, which means hopefully at Torch we're doing an excellent job, and we hope to make it better. So out of 8-9 months of operation, I repeat, it has been very successful. Our application process is all through our website, torch.academy. All the application process is automated, it's online. There is a selection process, so we select the student because the scholarship are limited. They get interviewed, they get assessment, and they sit for continuous assessment. Out of the comments we have from our graduate, they love being at the boot camp. Some of them said that it's the best thing that ever happened to them. One graduate said, well, he got a very good opportunity with an excellent job salary. He said, this is the first time somebody pays me for a skill that I have. This student was a graduate and he was jobless for 3 years. So we are changing the life of graduates. We operate in Hamra, in Beirut, and I want to invite everybody, all computer science graduates, to apply online to Torch Academy. I would like to say that we have been trying to cooperate seriously with the ecosystem. We had several meetings. Again, there is a need for more trainees, more people who know how to code. So we have created through our website an application form where companies can really tell us what their needs are to connect them to our graduates. And some companies as well are asking us now if we can devise specialized training. So currently we are launching in the process of working on a training hub, which is part of Torch Academy, that will have short courses for with the specialization where companies can send their staff to for a short period of time and get skills, build their skills in order to move forward, and this way we will be supporting also the startups and also companies that exist in the ecosystem. Another thing that in order to not to underprivilege graduates of non-IT backgrounds, so there are many business students, all our graduates have excellent ideas and they need support. So Torch, under the title Business Platform, any student who has a graduate who has an idea, it's our pleasure that he contacts or she contacts Torch, and we will connect them with our coders to help them build their idea and move into the IT ecosystem. I would like to add a note that this is an opportunity. Torch works at the grassroots. We are building the human intellect and expertise necessary to move on with this IT ecosystem. We are working on the people, on the youth, and we're happy to do that. I would like to add that I would like to encourage ladies and not only boys, but also please girls, ladies, female graduates to apply. IT is not IT is not something that we should be afraid of, or it's not technical, so it's not manly. It is something, IT is soft like women, so women can get into it. It's an opportunity for them to apply, to work in this sector. There is a big opportunity in Lebanon rising now for all the Lebanese, but I would like in particular to call upon women and girls to participate. So it's now your chance, because it's soft, it's easy, and Torch is always making it simpler, because we are transferring all the expertise and the knowledge at the first steps you need into you in a swift and hopefully very good manner. This is what Torch does.
Right. Okay. So one more question for you, and I will ask you for a shorter answer.
I'll try.
How do you kind of evaluate the ideas that are coming to you? I mean, are they global or more like a local problem solutions?
Yeah, I love the question. When we train our students, we wrap the coding part with an IT and a business mindset. So the idea need to be new, innovative. So we help them with researching, but they have to do also their research. We want creative and new ideas. The other thing, they need to be monetizable. So one of the questions we ask, how are you going to make money? And the third thing, scalability. We know in Lebanon it's only a small market. We want their ideas to cross to the region and also internationally. So these are the main three aspects, and we support them. We learn. The most important thing they get at Torch is how to think. It's not only about technical, it's about changing their mindset. So these are the three main criteria, and there is a big team and a very supportive team from technical mentors and business people. And one more thing that we help them with, as Nicolas said, we call upon the expats from the Lebanese diaspora. They come from Apple, from Google, and we give them inspirational seminar. And also, we would like to invite you now at some point to give us also an inspiration seminar at Torch to open up and inspire them with ideas that they can build and that are really scalable. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, and last one on the list is Stefan. Actually, I had a pleasure to speak with him yesterday a bit more about ESA. It's been around here for 20 years or so. So really, I mean, when you're building an ecosystem, you have a few pillars. Of course, one of the pillars is a conference like this one. Another one is having accelerators or a coding school. But of course, it's very, very important as well to have, according to me, a good institutional business school with a tradition and with a huge network, because it's very, very important, this network of the business schools, and how actually the graduates from this business school can leverage on that network to build up and grow their business. Tell us a bit more about how do you feel like your support and contribution to the ecosystem.
Merci Stéphane. Yes, so you mentioned that my name is Stéphane. I'm the dean of ESA Business School, which was founded, yes, indeed, 20 years ago for a partnership between France and Lebanon. But yes, a business school, but in fact, no, it's not only a business school today, and I could say that it's a group. It's ESA Group today. And why a group? Because from a business school, we diversified our activities. And one of these diversifications is the creation of a new booster, a digital booster, which is Smart ESA. And Smart ESA wants to be a platform, a bridge between the Lebanese ecosystem and the European ecosystem, a bridge between Europe and the Middle East. And that's what we want to create. And this is and we launched Smart ESA in March 2016. That was at ArabNet, and we've been working since then. And we're here on the BDL Accelerate, and we have a very good news today. Is that I opened yesterday the recruitment for Smart ESA, for Smart ESA Booster. So it's opened. The recruitment platform is open.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
It's always very pleasure to have like major announcements coming like this. And
So it's I opened season 1 of Smart ESA Booster yesterday. The recruitment platform is open. It's going to be open till December 31 at midnight. And thanks to the BDL Accelerate, we had many contacts yesterday, today, and we are very glad to be able to launch this new initiative. And well,
tell us a bit more. Like, what's going to happen in this initiative exactly?
well, what will we offer? We will offer 4 programs of 6 months each. The first one is the ideation program. The second one will be an incubation program. The third one, an acceleration program. And the fourth one is à la carte, because it all starts with what we have and what you need. So it's based on really the needs of the startups, of the projects. And we all know that startups and projects may be at different stages of maturity, and that they will not need the same sort of services and help and support. So to whom this will be addressed? It's addressed to any project, any startup, but it goes far beyond startups. It's addressed to big corporations or even family businesses who would like to develop their own projects within their company, their business. And one of the themes of BDL Accelerate today, to this year, is entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship, and we strongly believe in intrapreneurship. And so this is the target we have. The programs that will start in February. And why? Well, we have great institutions, and have the pleasure to be on stage with our partners from the Lebanese ecosystem, and they've done a great job for quite a few years now. And I would like to thank them because they really helped us in the design of our projects and our programs. And I think that what we will bring here is really disruptive and really innovative. And why will it be disruptive? Because it will rely on 4 pillars. 4 pillars. The first one is the ID, what we call the ID, the investor's diagnostic. Because we started from a business school. We are in the business, and we all know that we don't have any time to lose, any money to lose. The investor's diagnostic is the first step to identify what really is needed by the startup, by the project. The second pillar is certification. We will give a stamp, a quality stamp to the projects that we will go with us. The third pillar is motivation. And I think that's one of the most important things, motivation. And we will have a cash offer at the very first step, a welcome cash for the startups and projects that we will host. And at the end, a scholarship. And this scholarship will be calculated upon the results of the program, on KPIs. And the fourth pillar is the international detection, because as I mentioned, we want to bridge between Europe and the Middle East, through Lebanon, of course. And we want to attract as many people as possible in Lebanon. Among them, of course, the Lebanese diaspora, getting back to Lebanon, Amdallah Saleme, and international experts from the French tech, from the European tech, and even from Canada and from abroad. And any international talents that would be interested in Lebanon and in what the ecosystem is offering today. So these are the four pillars. And when I said I opened season 1, I have to precise that I'm not alone, of course. I have a great team and in the business school, in Smartesa, but we also have a boss. And I think that all of you know our boss, and you know him very well. This boss is the governor of the Central Bank of Lebanon. He's Riyad Salameh himself. And that's why we are developing these projects.
Okay, so very cool. I'm getting signs from the guys from behind that we don't have that much time left. I think it was very, very interesting for the crowd, and actually I think even that we don't have enough space here to make everybody sit. It's really, really exciting to understand that all of you guys are doing an amazing job for like boosting the ecosystem. Back to Nicola, maybe can you share with us like how do you envision the path of a company that goes to the accelerator that you created? Like starting here, going to London. After London, what happens? Do you see companies getting funding from London VCs, or do you kind of push them to go to the Valley or to the States, or to move back here and look for funding? Because at the end, it's I mean, I see that there is a lot of money here. There is a huge potential in Lebanon. I mean, I've been told that there is like tons of money in the local banks. The interest rates are great. Actually, I'm thinking of moving part of my money here in Lebanon because in Bulgaria I get 1% in the bank. So do you believe that there is like a funding potential here for local entrepreneurs, or do you think they should go abroad? Like, what's your vision on that?
I remind everyone we are still an ecosystem in the process of becoming a good ecosystem. I mean, it's not perfect yet. We have a lot of loopholes, but we are here all together, excited. Things are happening. Startups are finding money, so it's doable. In the path of a startup, it starts normally. It starts with FFF, family, friends, and fools, which is going to your parents and say, "Give me a couple of $1,000 or more."
Depending on the families.
calling on emotional attachment to people to get the money, because it needs a leap of faith. The next round, it still needs a leap of faith, and that's why we call it venture capital, because there's a big death toll or death rate of startups. Out of 100 startups, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 make it, 1 or 2 make it medium to big. So you need to be courageous. You need to be an adventurer. That's why I call the startups entrepreneur. I call them superheroes. Not heroes, superheroes, because they take the risk, because they jump, because they attack this adventure with faith, and on the other side they should be met with funds who also are ready to believe, provided there's the minimal ingredients, not the maximal ingredients, because if the funds are looking for the maximum criteria, they will never find them in a startup. So they need the minimum ingredients: a good concept, a good team, something that is scalable, that is global, that's something that is unique, that can be developed in becoming unique. These are the minimum ingredients, and we have a lot of money around, Stefan, but we don't have enough of this mentality, of the Silicon Valley mentality, of I can believe it will. This is a great idea. It can become something global if we put enough money on top of it, and if, of course, the team does what it takes to build and to scale a company. So there is no magic formula, and everywhere around the world you have also these kind of problems. But Lebanon is getting, every year is getting better and better. 2 years ago we didn't have seed funds. Now we have seed funds. Angel networks are starting to happen.
I think it's very important, the angel networks as well, because actually after of what you said, the FFF, actually you typically get the angels before any institutional investor.
Actually, the angels are the angel round or phase is still where we are the weakest. I mean angels, not families. In families we're good. The Lebanese families support their kids if they make if they go into entrepreneurship. Better maybe than somewhere else. But angels, the culture of angels is still growing. But an event like this is doing two things, and I close with this remark, if you my talk with this remark, if you allow me. In events like this and what we are seeing today is making two changes. It's making change in the Lebanese youth force, the youth community, because we have so many people coming to an event about tech. Tech used to be only crazy people and marginal people. I mean, the guy wants to play games and wants to program and go be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an employee in a bank. This is what we have around in Lebanon. But today we have 25,000 people coming to spend 2 days on something else, which is great. I mean, we're starting to believe, we're starting to see what is obvious, what should be obvious, that tech is changing the world. What is changing the world is tech. It's not lawyers and it's not doctors anymore. Doctors who want to change the world go into tech. The doctors who want to change the world go into tech.
That's absolutely
so tech is changing the world, and the people who are here are right and the other people are wrong. So this is the first change this kind of events is making happen. The second change is in the angel mentality. Also, you have some people who are not youth, who are of the second age bracket, who are coming to see what is happening and how should we be a part of it. These people are angels. These people you can go to at any point around you and say, look, we are changing Lebanon, we are changing the business model of Lebanon, and we want to change the world. Give me a few bucks as an angel, because you'll get them 20, 40 times more. So great event, BDL Accelerate. Chapeau to the central bank and to anyone involved.
All right. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. I have like tons of other questions for you guys, but we have to wrap it up. So thanks a lot for joining us on this panel, and thanks for sharing your vision and sharing a bit more details about what you guys are doing. I really think it's great, and I'll be back next year in 2 years, and be more than curious to discuss with you again on how things changed. I'm very positive about the things that are happening here. So thank you once again, and this was it. Thanks.